Hello on Manic Monday, continuing with last week's or the week before now. I can't even keep it straight on the massive meltdown with the declination letters. We thought we would come back on to share with you some of the things we're seeing with the SBA with regard to the declination letters and the unverifiable information. What does that mean? What are we seeing firsthand with the SBA and how they're interacting with clients and files and the portal and other things? Trevor's going to get into it. So hang out with us tonight for Unverifiable Information 2.0. All right, take it away. Let me do my sticker banner. So everyone say hello and tell us where you're tuning in from in the wide world of the United States.
I'm in Connecticut.
Yes, we know you're in Connecticut.
Not everybody knows that. Actually,
That's
when people
true.
call me on the free 15-minute phone consultations, people will often say, "Where are you guys located?" I'm like, "We're in the wild hills of northwestern Connecticut.
Litchfield County." And I know you're not here to know about where we live, but let's just say
The ice cream up here is legendary.
Arthur
We'll
Miller.
just say,
Arthur Miller.
the Arthur Miller ice cream, what?
Arthur Miller and Marilyn Monroe lived here when they were
the
first
Marilyn
married.
Monroe ice cream, mind-blowing.
Okay.
You can only get it in our town, by the way.
Hey, Georgia.
It's custom made by a local
Dallas.
creamery.
Jersey. Hello, Jersey.
Can you? I'm talking about Maryland and Arthur ice cream over here. Can you take the tone down?
New Orleans.
We're in it's former dairy country up here
where
we are, and the creameries are legendary. And there's Ferris Acres Creamery, and they do a special flavor for Arthur Miller and Marilyn Monroe, who lived in our town, and this is the only town that you can find it. Really, you're stepping all over my lines here, woman. Holy crap.
Listen, we're they don't want to hear about the damn ice cream.
I do, because I've been on a diet. It's not really working, though.
Are we in Hawaii?
Hawaii is in the house.
Nice. Hawaii in the house,
Melikilikilaka is the way to say Merry Christmas. Hello, Willie.
So I'm having a beer.
No, Willie's in Hialeah. That's in Florida.
Oh.
Goofy.
Oops.
Jeez.
Don't we wish we were in Hawaii?
Hashtag geography is fun.
So this is my Grateful Dead pint. This is the first time I'm actually having an adult beverage and libation.
I'm drinking water.
Live. Because it was
Yo lo tengo el agua.
That kind of day.
Okay, so we are chatting tonight about unverifiable information because, this is what SBA's gig is these days. Thomasville, Georgia, with the furniture capital of the world.
Ashton born.
Hey, Ashton. The Cajun has joined us.
Hey, Shane. Nice to see you.
Hi, Shane.
All right. So let's go to our first banner.
Just so y'all know, before the show really gets underway, I wrote a script.
Yeah, you can't see it. You can't see it it looks white. You can't tell. But we're gonna get
I wrote a script.
We're gonna get to some questions.
There's a lot of bullet points here. Let's see how many Linda can actually ask me.
Let's see how many interruptions.
I really would rather just talk about ice cream.
No. So we're gonna get into the banners. Where are my banners?
Just to keep in mind, I've been locked in a room all day doing SBA reconsiderations.
Yeah. All right. So let's start with Brooklyn. Okay. Let's start with Trev. What is our unverifiable?
Trina Sunshine. That's some rock star stuff going on there, girl.
So let's just So we did have a few people reach out to us because we did a video in April. I think it was April of this year on unverifiable information. And I actually had someone who said, can you update it? Because it's from April. And
what's the update?
Well, the thing is, when we did anything in April or even last
I'm thinking October, by the time the SBA catches up just to us to update, it'll be the year 2089.
Well, but with all the declination letters, I think people are like, well, some people never even experience this unverifiable information, whereas we've seen it been going on for a while.
So tell me again why we have to update the video.
We don't what does it all mean? That's all.
Nobody knows what it means.
Okay, but also,
except tonight, we're gonna tell you what it means.
All right, can you just get into it then? Jesus.
Jesus ain't got nothing to do with it. This is what they call in radio dead air.
Dead air. So because go.
Oh, look, there's a banner. Resident loan officer who processes client idle requests has ideas on how to unravel this SBA mystery. So what is unverifiable information? Okay, I'm going to read from my notes.
What? No, you're not.
Number one.
Man, come on.
There are no instructions on what to expect as you complete the application. True. You go into the SBA.gov website right now, click on COVID-19 relief, click on the EIDL, click on submit loan application. There are no instructions. There were no instructions last year in the heat of the moment. It was the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment, there were no instructions. So people were using their smartphones, they were using their iPads, they were using their laptops, and they were jumping in because the other concern was people were terrified that the SBA was going to run out of money. Thanks, Rams. So number one, there are no instructions on how to fill out this application.
Okay, but let me just chime in here because
here we go. Small business owner chiming into the loan officer. She's going to slap me down.
Yeah, this is not going down. This is not going as I had planned. Okay, I don't know why, but you're weird and off, and I'm not liking it. But I will say this.
I was watching a lot of Foo Fighters videos just before the show as I ate my dinner.
I think we should preface.
And I had pizza for dinner tonight, so I'm like in a whack-it good mood.
Seriously.
Okay, seriously, shut up. She just gave me, wow. She didn't just kick me under the table. She pinched my leg.
So this is, I think, like generally speaking, the first premise of the dysfunction that has unraveled is the fact that there are inconsistencies that the SBA is seeing from the original, from the original EIDL application to whatever is happening with the increase or reconsideration. There's inconsistencies. Yeah. So what happens is, because you couldn't save the application, as Trevor is referring to.
I didn't get to that one. That's number 3.
Oh, what was number 1 again?
Actually, that's number 2. All right, so number 2.
Okay.
Wow, talk about staying on script. And you tell me I'm the wackadoodle tonight. Okay, so number 1, there were no instructions on what to expect. But number 2, there was no way to save your application. So not only when you launch into doing an EIDL, COVID-19 EIDL application, not only do you not know what to expect as you jump in there, but once you're in there and you see, holy cow, there's all this stuff I got to put in here. What's your natural inclination? Well, let me save this and log out and call my accountant and get my cost of goods sold and my gross revenue for the 12-month period ending December 31st, 2020.
Yeah.
January 31st, right? There's no way to save it. So number 3, what does unverifiable information mean? Number 3, in the last spring, 2020, the EIDL application timed out in the middle of gazillions of small business owners jumping in there. Why do I know this? Because, hey, Keely.
Wow.
I jumped in there. Keely is like our resident psychic at tonight's show. The Keely episode will be on in the future, and Keely is already predicting what that's going to be, because Keely made a good prediction.
We need to have Keely on the show.
Me, the professional loan officer, didn't know to do that until after I did my first application. But we jump past number 3, 4, and 5, and potentially 6, which might be something to do with Keely. So number 3, you didn't know you couldn't save it. And the thing was booming, and it was timing you out. Okay, I'm kind of like losing myself over here. Can you help me out?
What do you need? You're on track.
You're over here giggling like you're having all kinds of fun, and I'm like being loan officer dude over here. I'm not really having a lot of fun.
No, you said you had to.
When I was having fun, you slapped me down.
You didn't have to.
I was having fun talking about ice cream. You were like, shut up.
Go to number 4.
Okay. Go to number 4. Now I'm going 4. Okay, what does unverifiable information mean? Number 4. If you were trying to figure out how to save the application last year, you probably went through to the last page of the 4-page application. And you know what you did? You hit submit. because you thought, all right, so I just put some of this information. I'm going to hit submit, and then SBA will send me an email with a login so I can come back into this application and edit the information for accuracy, because I've just attested to the accuracy. But I didn't really want to attest, because all I really want to do is save it so I can call my CPA or pull out my QuickBooks or whatever it is I need to do to get the right information and double check everything. Yeah, that's number 4. I'm waiting for Linda to tell me what to do next.
Well, number 5.
Number 5. Numero 5.
This is the most important one, I think.
This is.
It's
not. It's not. The other ones, the first 3. First 4. Okay, number 5. 12-month period. Today, when you file a reconsideration or you have requested an increase and the SBA is looking at your tax returns for 2019 and your tax transcripts, and they're comparing that to your EIDL application from last year, they forget that their own application says, please enter the gross revenue and the cost of goods sold for the 12-month period prior to the disaster ending on January 31st, 2020, which is not December 31st, 2019, which is the end of the 12-month period for tax return. Okay, that took a lot out of me.
Justin! All right.
So today,
yes,
the SBA is holding all of you to a gold standard of what you're supposed to have done last year when you did your original EIDL application. And now SBA is looking at your documentation and looking at your original application going, this is not perfect. This cannot work in the SBA world. Decline, decline, decline. We have moved on to the next application. Decline, decline. That's right. So whether you filed a reconsideration, an increase request, whether you were caught up in the tidal wave 2 weeks ago of the tens of gazillion thousands of declinations that went out, the SBA process, as we know it here at Aurora Consulting, because we process these loans all the time, the process, the mechanism of the SBA works like this. You file an EIDL application. The application is declined. You then file a reconsideration. If your reconsideration is declined, you file an appeal. That's the process. So if you were caught up in the tidal wave of 2 weeks ago, there is only one thing to do: file reconsideration. And you know, really more than ever, why that's the only thing you can do? Linda's going to tell you what SBA has described as their response to the 10 million gazillion tidal wave of declinations. Linda, tell them what the SBA's response has been.
To file a reconsideration.
There has been no response.
Oh, that response, that there's no response. Yes, but on the letter of the declination letter, they say.
Forget the declination letter. The SBA has not said a word about these gazillions of declination letters that went out. I just checked the SBA website about 15 minutes before the show. There's nothing there. There's no there. Now, I'm attending an SBA EIDL webinar this Wednesday. We'll see what they don't tell us about what went on 2 weeks ago.
Well, you know, I had someone who, when I posted the post about, hold on, let's hope I don't forget. Oh, the last Monday or Tuesday, we did a video on or Friday, we did a video on how someone said that an SBA agent said the minimum new score is 690. So we did a video on that. I think it was Friday. Anyway, we had someone who live chatted on our website and said they went to an SBA webinar like that same day. So that's Friday. Now these letters went out when, right? And she says, "Oh no, they said the minimum score is still 570." I said, Are you telling me? No, that's not my point. Are you telling me they're talking about these things, but not talking about the declination letter? Like, where's the webinar on the declination letter?
There's no webinar.
The campaign.
Hold on. I'm going to show you in a few seconds why there's no webinar. You want to hear why there's no webinar, Linda Ray?
Sure.
Okay. Let's talk about PPP loans for a minute.
It's Pam's fault. Ashton knows.
Pam. Oh, the letter is all signed by Pam. You got to blame Pam. Okay, so listen, folks.
Costas.
Listen up. Paycheck Protection Program. Massive infusion of capital into the American economic system for all of you small business owners. 1% interest rate unless you can get your loan forgiven, which means no payments, right? And we know from our own clients that banks are bombarding the clients going, file for your forgiveness now because you may lose out on something. The banks just want to clear this stuff off their books. Classic bank behavior, by the way. They don't give a crap about you because actually, as per the SBA regulations, you get this whole period of time after the end of the covered period, which is anywhere from 8 to 24 weeks that you could have used the funding. Right. See where I'm going with that? Okay. So here's the thing. 2 weeks ago, the SBA said, hey, we're going to roll out a portal so that you all don't have to deal with your bank. You can just go onto the SBA website, log into the portal, and get your loan forgiven. Too sweet. Boom, bum, 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 bum. And the SBA said to reputable media organizations, including Inc.com and the Business Journal and the Business Insider, I don't know, all these reputable media, the SBA told them we should roll it out by Thursday or Friday of last week. I dare you, go on the SBA.gov website right now. I'll wait.
Yeah, it's not there.
That's right. It's not there.
It's not there.
So if the SBA can't roll out this PPP forgiveness portal, which they've had infinite amount of time to do because who's dealing with PPP, right? Okay. They're sure as hell not dealing with your declined EIDL from the tidal wave of declinations. Do not sit around waiting for the SBA to fix this problem. Stop calling the SBA and some idiot on the phone tells you, oh, well, it was a glitch and we're going to reset the portal. It's bull crap.
All right, here's some other breaking news.
Breaking news.
Here's some breaking news that we didn't have a banner for it, but let's just talk about the acknowledgement of a reconsideration that we just filed, and the response came from the SBA. And in the letter, it said not only did they acknowledge the submission, but that
for an appeal.
For an appeal, that this will be the final appeal. And we were like, what?
Sure, SBA.
No.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think so.
Yeah, sure.
No.
Sure.
You don't get to tell us when we have to stop filing when you're crazy and chaotic.
This SBA thing, this is not a NASA space flight where, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, abort the mission because something's not working. But they fix it and then the mission gets launched and, people land on the moon and stuff. This is the SBA we're talking about. When the SBA sends an email to one of our clients this afternoon and says, we would like you to acknowledge and confirm in writing that you are in fact requesting an appeal for the declined reconsideration of your loan. And please be advised, whatever the results of the appeal will be our final decision. And in other words, they think the SBA thinks they're going to close the door. What? Wait a minute. This is the same SBA where on this same file, the loan officer said to the client on the phone, our client, first of all, our client said multiple times on the phone, please, I would ask you, please call Trevor at Aurora Consulting because that's my paid authorized representative as per SBA regulations. I'd like you to call Trevor and say, no, I'm not calling them. I'm calling you, sir, to tell you your file is declined because I got your tax transcript, sir, and your LLC doesn't appear on your tax transcripts. And the SBA doesn't lend money, sir, to defunct out of non-existent businesses, sir. Click. By the way, on an IRS 4506T transcript return, when you're self-employed and you file a Schedule C, you know where your business name appears on the tax transcript, Linda? Wow. Do you know where it appears?
I don't know. Your mom just called. That's why I was distracted.
Oh, okay. Do you know where on the tax transcript, do you know where the name of your LLC appears when you're self-employed? On a Schedule C? Do you know where it appears on tax transcripts?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere. It does not appear. You know why? It's a 1040 tax return, which is under your personal name. This is the basic functionality of reading financial statements that so many SBA agents don't even have knowledge of. And they're going to tell you that you can no longer file another reconsideration after they decline your appeal? Hell no.
Yeah. We're going to take this segment. Where are we? We're at 19 minutes and 34 seconds. We're going to take this and we're going to have to make this its own video that when you get the letter when you file reconsideration or the appeal or whatever, and you get a letter that they're acknowledging it, and in the letter it says
Well, they want you to acknowledge it.
Right, but that this is your final, this will be the final
for an appeal.
For an appeal, don't panic about that.
Well, let me tell you,
people do panic because I have seen the comments where they said, I got one shot at this. No, you don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't. So listen, here's what our client's email looked like that the client submitted through his email address, but I'm his representative. We're his representative, so I drafted the email. This is how the email read. To whom may concern, I hereby acknowledge that I confirm I am requesting an appeal of my declined reconsideration. Number one. Number two, I am notifying the SBA again that Aurora Consulting is my authorized representative. Please see attached the signed authorization letter. And the SBA requires that that letter outlining the relationship we have with the client and our fee and our scope of services has to be sent by the client. We cannot send it for them. Okay. And the body of the email says the same thing. And then the third paragraph, the client email says, please note further, SBA, that this time I expect professional diligence on the review of my appeal request for my declined loan, because the loan officer the last time did not know how to read an IRS tax transcript. And if further the SBA declines my loan again, and if I believe that my file was not attended to with the appropriate professional expertise and diligence, I will continue to request reconsiderations. To complete this game, folks. Just saying.
All right, so
I have one more comment about restaurant relief, and then I'm going to hand it over to questions.
Yeah, and then we're going to open up Q&A, which, by the way, for anyone who might have posted a question like 10 minutes ago, you might have to pop that back in there if I can't scroll up and see it, whatever. Okay.
Quick note on questions. We don't discuss targeted advance grants. Yes. We don't discuss supplemental grants. Please do not ask. You will be disappointed because we will not acknowledge your question.
Except for Raleigh. Except for Raleigh, who did ask about the roadmap, because I sent out an announcement about the update on the roadmap.
That has nothing to do with grants.
I know. And I just want to acknowledge that he asked, does the roadmap have anything to do with the target advance? No, we do not talk about there are some things of the roadmap that might apply with how you're handling it, but we don't really, I can't say that it's
a minimal, and only because it relates to another area. Okay.
Okay.
My last comments of the evening before we take questions. Restaurant Relief Fund. Okay. All of a sudden, you know, we offered PPP and Restaurant Relief Fund applications to our paying EIDL clients because our understanding, first of all, we know for sure with PPP, we are not permitted, a consultant is not permitted, a broker is not permitted to charge you a fee. And by the way, if you paid anybody a fee directly to do a PPP application, get your money back.
Whoa.
Just call them up and say, give me my money back. Or I'm going to call the FBI, because it's like a serious federal offense for them or for us to have charged directly a fee for doing PPP. We did it as a courtesy. Same with restaurant relief. I filed 18 restaurant relief grant applications, and as you may know, the fund ran out of money dramatically. Like $28 billion of funds were allocated by Congress for $76 billion of requests. It's nuts. So SBA tried a little political game a few weeks ago. Isabella Guzman made a press release. We've run out of money, ostensibly to embarrass the Congress, which is not so easy to do, by the way. I mean, the Congress often embarrasses itself. We'll just leave that aside. So last week, all of a sudden, my email started blowing up with our restaurant clients. Hey, Kobina, restaurant clients notify me, hey, the House passed a bill that they're going to fund it with the additional $60 billion. Yeah. So I went in and I read it. First of all, it's not the House of Representatives that passed the bill. It's a subcommittee that passed the bill. And it's not even a bipartisan subcommittee. We'll just leave that alone, let you figure out what I mean by that. It's a politically motivated hack for publicity by a certain group of politicians saying, hey, we have passed this and we want this voted on because we want to put $60 billion into Restaurant Relief Fund. And let's do this to get money to our restaurants, and no priority groups. There will be no priority groups, no women, no Black, no Hispanic, no LGBTQ, no economically underserved. No priority groups. So you think I don't know where I'm going with what political group of Congress people potentially came up with this facat legislation. But by the way, here's what how they plan to pay for the $60 billion. Linda Ray, can I have a drum roll, please?
I wish I had sound effects. I need to get like a podcasting soundboard.
Here's how this one-party political group of Congress people passed their legislation, which they didn't pass because it's never going to fly. It's never going to pass. But they proposed this last week. Here it is. We will fund the $60 billion with all the unused monies from the EIDL program.
What?
Yeah! They literally wrote it in the legislation.
This is.
And y'all are tuning into our show tonight because you're waiting for EIDL money. And these want to take it away from you.
Yes, that's why.
They haven't given it to you yet. Okay.
All right.
I'll shut the hell up now. And Linda Ray, fire away with questions.
All right. Tulsa Nights. Even though people have already asked questions, and I know you guys asked them sooner than Tulsa Nights, I do want to bring up Tulsa Nights because it's on the segue of the whole political nonsense of contacting your politicians. They've been useless. Okay. They haven't done anything. We have clients that contacted them. They hired us, but they were contacting politicians. Nothing was done.
Waste of time.
We got the loans approved.
Not only is it waste of time that the
politicians,
the Congress people, your reps, they can't move it forward. But also, we spoke to somebody 2 weeks ago, and he, on one of our free 15-minute consultations, he told me that he discovered when he spoke to the SBA said, "We can't work on your file, sir."
Oh, yeah. The
Congressional He said, why? Hold. He said, because there's a congressional hold on your file.
Yeah.
Because what you all don't understand is when you get the politicians involved with that federal bureaucracy, assuming there's a response, there's actually a mechanism that goes into place and the whole process stops.
Yeah.
It's basically an investigation.
So Patty Campy, I don't know if you're still here. If you are, let us know and just say
I'm going to let Linda Ray answer that question.
So with the reconsideration on how long it takes, we get this question all the time and it varies. This is the only way we can answer the question. Not only that it varies, but we have seen where it can take 6 weeks and we have seen where it could take 6 months. I mean, I use those numbers because we just had files that were approved and that was the range. One file was 6 weeks, one was 6 months. I mean, it could be 5 weeks, it could be 5 months, but specifically, literally, factually, actually, 6 weeks and 6 months. It depends on the issues. By the way, being in the insurance business for over 30 years, it depends was a totally illegitimate answer and retort.
Especially if you're talking about like life insurance.
But with this stuff, it really does depend. And this is why, because it really does depend on the inconsistencies the SBA thinks there are with your file, with your documents, with the information. It could be documents by way of the 4506T being incorrectly submitted. It could be that there are multiple addresses. It could be that the names are different on the, of the business.
You moved your business.
You moved your business and you didn't notify the SBA. Did you know if you already have an EIDL loan, you're supposed to notify the SBA that you moved?
No. You have to notify them 30 days before you move.
Well, before, right. So, but the point is this, a lot of people scrambled to get the money and then had to deal with COVID and its ravaging of, everyone's business or the financing or budgeting and cash flow. So you had to make decisions on how to budget accordingly. And maybe you closed down an office and started working from home. You have to let them know that. You have to let them know of your new address. It's as simple as that. There are people who moved and applied for an increase, but never said anything. And now there's different information.
2 different addresses, and the SBA will decline that for the famous unverifiable information.
So Patty, I'm glad you're still here. let me just say, expect the worst, that this thing could go on for.
Well, Linda, I'm glad you said expect the worst, because in our roadmap to reconsideration,
yes,
which I finally finished writing.
Yes. And now we're in editing mode.
One of the chapters that I wrote, one of the sections I wrote, is about how you, Patty, and Patty, this is going to be perfect for you because it's P for perfect. Patty, perfect.
Patty, perfect.
Be Patty perfect. Patty, don't just be perfect. Patty, be crazy perfect. Be 110 million gazillion %1,000% perfect, because that's the standard you have to adhere to in order to be successful with the SBA reconsideration process, because you have so many variables on the SBA side. First of all, you have really good agents, really good experienced loan officers, but they're often working on your file with a mindset that if a mistake exists on your original EIDL application that doesn't match up with your documents that you're submitting, it could be declined. But then you've got the other side of it. You've got a whole bunch of agents who are not trained well, inexperienced in reading financial statements, or just complete inept at reading financial statements, and you're going to have to deal with that. You've got to be like the best defense lawyer that's ever walked into a courtroom to defend your client kind of mindset. All right. So all right, be perfect, Patty.
I don't know if Raleigh, am I pronouncing that right? If you're still here, let me know. As far as this was our first experience with the unverifiable information declination on a file that we did back in, was it May? March? I don't remember. But anyway,
I don't remember what I did yesterday.
To prove the existence of your business, when you say what apps can I prove, I don't know if you mean documents.
You don't need any apps, Raleigh.
I don't know if you mean documents, but there's no apps per se. There's documents. So what you're going to want to submit to them is your if you're an entity,
even if you're not,
but if you're an entity like an LLC, you can submit your EIN filing receipt, your articles of incorporation, the SS1, which has your EIN number
SS4.
on it, SS4. If you talk about if you're a sole prop or a self-employed person with no LLC, what can they submit?
Well, I want to make this even simpler. Raleigh, here's what you have to do. This goes back to Perfect Patty, who just joined us a moment ago, and I answered her question about reconsideration. Raleigh, what you have to do is you have to put your loan officer hat on. You have to pretend you're the lender for a minute. Not for a minute. For a couple of hours. You've got to look at all of your documents, look at your website, do a Google search on yourself, have your friends do a Google search on yourself, on your business from a different IP address. How does your business appear? Where's your driver's license address? What's your business address? Look up, are you required to register your business with your state regulator? Are you required to file fees and or reports? Here in Connecticut, we're required to file a report every year with the state Department of State. So, what are your state regulations for an entity? If you are self-employed gig type worker or a sole proprietor, independent contractor, you file Schedule C, you won't necessarily have all that. Do you have a business card? Get a business card. Do you have invoices? Do you have credit card? What can you do? Go into a court of law, Raleigh. The court of law is the SBA.
It's all about the documentation.
Prove that your business exists.
Yeah.
That's what you've got to do.
That's it. And by the way,
there are no apps.
I'm going to say
you're the app, Raleigh. It's the Raleigh app.
Yeah, you got to hack the app, and you're the app. So,
hack yourself, man.
Yeah. So
I mean, not literally. Like, don't really hack yourself. I mean.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was reading Stephen King this morning.
By the way, I really feel like this.
Hack Stephen King. Blood. Carrie.
I think this is
I got kicked.
One of the better not reasons, but not the way that they express this as a reason for unverifiable information. I think this is one of the most clear cut because it was the first one we dealt with. No, because if you have to prove the existence of your business, then there are so many different ways for you to do that, and just submit them, and there you go.
There you go.
There you go. I mean,
there's no apps.
Yeah.
You're the app.
All right. So let's see. Marie Hill, I think we answered this by saying we don't know how long it's going to take. 10 days is sort of like You know when you go on a diet and you've been on a diet for a day
For 15 minutes?
and you're like, okay, I think I'm done with this. Yeah, it's like that. 10 days is like that. That's
Listen, you can lose a lot of weight in 10 days depending on the diet.
Yeah.
Marie, my love, my dear. Okay. Watch more of our videos. It takes considerably more time than 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. We're not trying to be, folks, just understand something. If you're joining us and you're with us the first time, please understand that we have a passion for this. We've been doing this since March 23rd of last year. Last year, I filed 40 EIDL applications, 100% approval rate, and most of those have flown through the increase process. But I'm a 30-year veteran mortgage banking loan officer. You're not. Linda did a poll. What was the poll? 78%?
Yeah, 78% of people going through business owners going through the EIDL process have never been through the process of going through getting a business loan. If you've never been through the process of getting a business loan, guess what you've just been going through? Getting a business loan.
Ashton is asking for a little pep talk. Here's your pep talk.
Well, first of all, I love how he says motherly pep talk because I'm not a mom. Okay. What? What? Oh, yeah. Okay. So
here comes the pep talk.
Because he had to prompt me because I am not a mom. So I actually don't know how to give a motherly pep talk. But you don't need a motherly pep talk. This is the pep talk. Our clients have gotten over $7 million in funding in over 7 weeks.
Correct.
Okay. So there's that. So
it's like 6.87 or 6.827 or something like that.
I think this is the frustration. We know it's going to happen. It's just that we don't know when for everybody, and everybody wants it now. They want it now. Like even Marie said, 10 days I should hear,
Well, we know, Marie, that's too soon.
Yeah.
Folks, the thing is, if there's any sense of encouragement that we can give you about your reconsideration, it's this. As professionals, insurance broker, mortgage banker, and all of the loans that we've processed and continue to process, that you will be successful. You just got to hang in there.
Yeah. So yes, Jorge, great tip. And actually, this is in our roadmap about your website. If you took it down because you were trying to save on costs, you should activate it and have that as a digital landing page for the SBA officers to know that you exist and that you mean business by having a business website.
But let me address this website thing, and going back to Raleigh's question, how do I prove I'm a business? What's the app? All right, so we got an approval. You're welcome, Ash, my Cajun son. We got an approval a couple of weeks ago for a client here in Connecticut who was referred to us by one of our other Connecticut clients. And this is a fellow who on the first phone call said to me, Trevor, I'm not good with computers. He said, I have a severe learning disability. And I have this little business and I'm really desperate for the money. I'm getting a little choked up thinking about this client because we got him approved, and he said it was life-changing what we did for him. We got him something like $78,000. But the SBA loan officer reached out on his file, and she was treating his file like it was a regular SBA loan. She asked for the moon, sun, stars, blood, hair, urine, DNA analysis. Now, typically we see loan officers just asking for a voided check, tax return, whatever, 4506T thing, basic documents. No, this woman wanted proof of marketing materials, advertisements, website address. She wanted invoices, paid receipts from vendors, invoices to clients, and so forth. All kinds of records and stuff. So this is what I say when you hear me say the following words. I can't teach you all to be me. I'm a veteran loan officer, 30 years doing government loans, okay? This was the response that I wrote to this SBA loan officer. This happened on a Thursday evening around 7 o'clock in the evening. I sent this email out. Please see attached the following documents that you requested, which was all the standard stuff, 4506T, driver's license, bank statement, whatever. basic documents. And we collect those on all our clients so that when SBA asks, I've got it at my fingertips and just send it right in, no wasting any time. I said further, with regards to your request for the other items, we will be happy to comply, but please be advised that our client is a self-employed individual who lives and works in his mother's house with a severe disability, learning disability. And he is not, by his own admission, computer savvy. So we will be happy to collect these documents for you. I'm not sure how long this will take. And fortunately, he's here in Connecticut because I will probably have to drive to his place of business to gather all these documents you've asked for. But we look forward to getting them for you and helping you to help our client get approved. That was a Thursday evening. Monday morning, got an email, log into the portal, approved, signed closing documents, and he got funded. She wiped out all the conditions simply because I did the one thing that I can't teach you. As a loan officer, it's about a conversation.
But the other thing,
collegial colleague, you have to do the same thing, folks. Stop getting defensive, stop questioning, stop arguing, and have a conversation with them.
That's a really good point that I would like to just share, because the thing is, one of the things you have mentioned to everybody is stop questioning and start submitting. So here you're telling a story about how you kind of sort of were questioning and not submitting. Now, I think that we should clarify it was a how you kind of questioned, but not really questioned. It's how you positioned the situation and the circumstances for someone to be able to or not be able to comply with these requirements. The other thing we've seen too are some of these loan officers are forgetting that they're underwriting an economic disaster loan and not an SBA regular 7A 504 loan, which is the hair, blood, and urine firstborn. Thank you very much. So I think while you're kind of contradicting yourself, I think it should be clear that we stated that it's more like, all right, I get it, but let me just share with you my circumstances on why I might not be able to comply with that.
When I say stop questioning, here's the other side of it. So, we offer all of you a free 15-minute phone consultation. So you get to talk to me for 15 minutes for my expert advice on what we recommend your course of action. Often people just say, listen, can I just hire you guys, and what's your fee? So, we do that in the call also, but primarily our objective is actually to give you real advice that you can use based on your situation. But here's what we see time and time and time again, because we have an email kind of intake process to prepare for the call where we ask for some basic information. We get novel length emails from folks with all the warts of their story. It just goes, and honestly, as a loan officer, I can take out more than 2/3 of that entire diatribe, because it's all it is. It's a diatribe. You should be giving me this money because of this. So you see, that's when I say stop questioning, start submitting. In the case of our client with the disability, when I said to her, we will be happy to comply, but here are some challenges that we experience with providing this information. This is a conversation. This is not me going, well, I don't know I can get those. I don't have marketing materials. How am I supposed to get marketing materials? I don't have a website. What can I give you instead of a website? I don't even have a business card. You see how there's a difference in that tone and tenor?
Yes.
And by the way, folks, we know you're stressed out, but when you behave that way, you will fail. You will fail.
Yes.
You will not be approved.
All right. So I see a couple people posting the questions again. Gregory Miller, I see you. Okay. So, she got a request from the recon, but right before, should she
call customer service? Call customer service.
Okay. So call customer service, but she was technically, it sounds like she was declined, Gregory. So, if she was declined, she's going to have to file a reconsideration.
Hold on a second. Gregory, if this decline letter is dated April 22nd.
Oh, yeah.
This was a template letter that went out, and we've seen that it means nothing. It is not a real declination letter.
It's not. If it's,
so that's why I'm saying your friend has to call customer service. And if you watched our videos, folks, we say time and time again, when we have a video we've done a long time ago, it's in our EIDL Reconsideration playlist, how to speak to an SBA agent. Please watch that video for your friend. And
this was all the way back in September, I think. September
okay.
or October.
What she's got to do is call customer service and say, can you please look at my file in the system, EIDL number? What is the status of the file? See, that's a close-ended question. Ma'am, the question is answered. The file is declined. Thank you. Have a nice day. Click.
Yes.
Now you have confirmation that the letter was not a mistake. Okay.
Okay.
What other questions we have there, girl?
Trina Sunshine.
We did. I love that name.
We did a video on this, and no, we do not think they're going away.
No, it's never going to happen.
Sometimes I wonder if some of the questions are just like, I know some of you haven't really seen all of our videos, but when I see some of the questions, we have been so adamant to the point where people have called us rude because we express our opinion or we express what we think is happening. And one of them is the 4506T is not going away.
It can't go away. Yeah. Again, please, folks, don't be offended by our passion. Our passion, hey, Kathy Lee, our passion informs our expertise, and our expertise informs our passion. I mean, it's what we do that has helped so many of our clients to get approved with the EIDL process, continuing through today.
I want to go back to eSammy TV because I don't even know what I've waited for 3 weeks now for reconsideration. I want to ask eSammy TV if when you say Sammy TV. I'm sorry, Sammy TV. I want to ask, when you say you submitted your reconsideration 3 weeks ago, can you confirm with some of the appeals and reconsiderations you've been filing in the last week that do you get an acknowledgement that you made the submission or emailed the submission or not?
Well, I don't know what Sammy's saying here. So all I can tell you is this. When I submit an email to PDC Recons requesting a reconsideration for a client, I get an email response, template email back from SBA almost instantly. Thank you for submitting.
Yes.
It's a confirmation email.
It's a confirmation.
As far as a valuable response, something that actually tells you we're looking for documents, no, they're all over the map. Well, you could get something 8 days later, you get something 3 months later.
Well, I think the whole Marie with 10 days and now Sammy TV with 3 weeks, I think these are unrealistic expectations.
Massively unrealistic.
Very unrealistic for you to think that there's going to be some traction on your file, that something's actually going to happen on your file that will bring you closer to funding. Because let's not make a mistake. Hold on. Let me not, because I'll forget stuff. The thing is, everybody wants to know, like, ultimately everyone wants to get funded. So even when they're approved, I still see the questions about, well, so when am I going to get funded? It's like, oh, let's take a deep breath. You got approved. Let's just enjoy that for a moment. And I will say, even though I did a video that says, I will never answer this question again, when you get approved, we have seen on average 5 days that you get funded. So this might be really the last time that I answer the question because it is within 5 days. But
which means it could be 3 days. It could be 14 days.
Super sticker, Darlene. You're super. You're super.
Darlene, you're darling. Thank you, darling, for joining the show tonight. I'm getting verklempt, darling.
Yeah. So see, Justin, I'm sorry to make an example of you, Justin, but 2 months he's been waiting. So 10 days, 3 weeks.
We've had a lot of activity on Justin's file, actually.
I know, but it's just unrealistic. It's unrealistic. 30 days, 60 days. It's unrealistic.
Look, the fastest reconsideration I ever filed was early days, April of last year, 2 weeks. And that was the case. That was the first one I did. And that was the case with the SBA loan officer. SBA loan officer back then said to our client, you are barred for life because you defaulted on a previous SBA loan. I got that approved. So
all right. So see, okay, well, with the 4506T, and I think Kevin.
I'm telling you right now, Kevin, you filled it out wrong.
Yeah, you filled it out wrong.
I'm going to put Ms. Darlene's $20 down on that you filled it out wrong, buddy.
The thing
For
with
sure.
the one thing that I know it seems so obvious that, and you're like, I did that. There's no way you can tell me I didn't do that. But there is a place on the 4506T that has previous address and current address.
Bingo.
So when you fill out current address and previous address, I think there may be times where the business owner might confuse their addresses. Maybe they've moved more than once. Maybe they moved more than twice.
The questions are really simple.
So
previous address as per the tax return. It says it right there on the 4506T. And by the way, you know, if you're confused about 4506, you can go to irs.gov and read instructions on how to fill it out. But it says it very clearly. Kevin, did you just help me win $20, Kev?
He believes that he did it wrong.
Kev from Trev, I love you, man. I love you.
So,
I love you, brother. Love you. Right here. I love you, man.
But that's part of what the roadmap is doing with Kevin.
Tell him what the roadmap is there, girly.
So the roadmap is, we have this, we call it a roadmap. It's really a course. It's
the roadmap to reconsideration.
Roadmap to reconsideration. It involves everything you never wanted to know, but now you need to know about how to file a reconsideration. It's really, I feel I really can't wait to be done with this.
Is everything I know about the SBA's EIDL process. And let me tell you,
apparently
as I wrote it, I'm like, holy crap, like I didn't even remember I knew that.
All right, so
I've been taking notes on it for a long time. So Kev, when somebody says I have a problem with the 4506T, two things. Number one, I have been dealing with 4506 forms since 1996, thereabouts, in the mortgage industry.
There's a fly in my beer.
And oh, is that where he went? He was flying around.
He literally is in my beer.
Well, you know.
Oh my God.
So we have.
Let me not drip this on it's right in there.
Okay. We have the one of the doors to our house is right here.
Beer.
Okay, that's one of our doors, one of our back doors, and a friend brought over a zucchini lasagna for dinner the other night, and some moron left his door open all night, overnight, and you know we live in the country. Who's the moron, Linda, who left the door open?
That would be you. All right, so
I left the door open, so we all kinds of flies in the house.
All right, so Tulsa
apparently one of them went in the beer. Oh, he's still alive, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, he's having a darn good time.
He's just doing the backstroke in there. That is.
Okay, so do you know the joke about the Englishman, the Irishman, the Scotsman at the bar? Which, by the way, I'm all three. My mother was Irish, so I have the Irish accent. My father was Scottish, all right, and I identify as Scottish because we invented bloody everything. And I was born in London, England, so I'm confused. Okay. All right. So the Englishman, Irishman, Scotsman sit at the bar. Fly lands in each of their beers. The Englishman says, "Oi, mate, come on then, off with you," right? And the Irish guy says something.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I don't know what the Irish guy. It doesn't matter what the Irish guy says.
Where are we going?
Because you know what the Scottish guy says? Here, you. He picks the fly up. The Scottish guy picks the fly up. Spit it out! Put it back in there, you bastard! Bah! Don't take my bloody booze!
All right. So now, can you answer
Scottish humor?
Can you answer Tulsa Nights, please, since it's in conjunction with the 4506T conversation?
Yes. By the way, Tulsa Nights. You know, I kind of want to sing a Bee Gees song when I see the name of your business. You know, sing it out. On the nights on Broadway.
Okay.
Singing that sweet sound. Singing that crazy sound. Okay. You have to input whatever address you filed on. So not only, Tulsa, do you have to input the address from your 4506T. I'm still cracking up about the Bee Gees. You have to fill. Here's what we recommend, and we have a video on how to fill out 4506T in our playlist. Yeah. But here's what my advice to you is: side by side,
side by side.
We watched Forrest Gump last night. Side by side, side by side. Stupid is as stupid does. Put your tax return for 2019 on the table or on your computer desktop on a big screen, not on your smartphone. You cannot do this on a smartphone, right?
Yeah.
If it's not Scottish, it's crap. Light a match, will ya? All right. Tax return side by side the 4506T, and whatever you see on the tax return must go exactly into the boxes on the 4506T. And if, like Kevin McDermott, who I know is an Irish name, not a Scottish name, but if you have changed your address, then put your new address in the current address box, and then put previous address as it appears on the tax return. And by the way, Tulsa, if your name is misspelled by your tax professional, which we actually see a lot more often than you would think, you must misspell it also on the 4506T, because the IRS is going to look for basically a mirror image of whatever's on your 4506T as they look for your tax transcript. I filled one out yesterday where the name of the business was something, like Tulsa and Nights Entertainment Group, Inc. On the tax return, it said, it said Tulsa Nights Entertainment Group.
Group.
Oh. Group. No P, no ink. Group. So guess what I wrote in the 4506, Tulsa?
Group.
GROU.
John Cook. Yeah. So
hello, John Cook. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
3 things. They didn't tell you what the 3 things were? They probably told you what the 3 things. You're in process. If they're asking you for something,
stop questioning, John. Start submitting.
If you got to send them what. I'd be shocked that there isn't somewhere. Is this where we say
I'm feeling a little tension over here?
Well, I'm feeling
like you're about to lose your brains.
No,
go ahead.
No, because like this may be where the 3 things are in the portal that they need.
No, he said he got an email wanting 3 things.
Oh, okay.
John Cook, submit the 3 things.
Yeah.
Send it in and wait. That's what you got to do. There's nothing else you can do.
Yeah.
Comply.
All right. So Gregory Miller. No, I don't think you can.
Well, Gregory, hang on a second. What does this mean? They don't respond to email, they don't call. You have a loan officer, Gregory? I mean, is there a loan officer working your file? Because in my experience, they're actually really massively polite.
Yes.
And very professional.
Yeah.
I have had dozens and dozens of conversations with loan officers. I've had hundreds of conversations with SBA representatives, and I've only met one who was rude. And I hung up on him the second time I heard him answer the phone, but he was on the customer service line. You know, sister Shay, I love your name there, girl. I'm like, oh, I think I knew somebody named Sister Shay back in the Bronx. She was really cool.
I gotta get rid of that banner.
Okay, so what else we got there?
Yeah.
I've run out of water. It means the show's almost over.
That means, so yes, we're embarrassing Ashton as his fake digital virtual parents.
We're Ashton's non-Cajun fake internet parents.
As they able to,
oh, this Ashton with the baby.
I know, he's seeing
the baby.
I'm gonna have to go in.
It's got a baby.
I gotta go in and see it. Gotta enlarge that picture. Donna Murray. I don't know if you're still here. I hope you are.
Your neighbors heard me singing the Bee Gees.
Got an incorrect on my uploaded tax return. Okay, so
something else is wrong on the 4506.
Or you know where I'm going with this, where it'll say incorrect on the portal, but it's not. They have it.
Yeah.
And it's not incorrect.
Yeah.
So
I get that all the time, Donna.
So if you want to brave the call to the customer service, but just
no, you don't have to brave. Call customer service and say,
but just say,
and close-ended questions.
Yes.
Close-ended questions, Donna. Say, hey, good afternoon. Thanks for being there. Here's my EIDL number. And by the way, Donna, before you call, go to our EIDL Reconsideration playlist and watch our video that says how to talk to an SBA agent. Okay, so Donna, call SBA and say to the customer service, here's my EIDL number. Can you please tell me if you can see in my file, my tax return appears in the file? It does? Yes? Great. Thank you very much. Click. Also, Donna and everyone else out there, and including whoever it was that just asked a moment ago about the requesting 3 documents. If you are required and requested to upload documents to the portal, you want to use Trevor's loan officer backup technique, send it in by email to PDC Recons as a backup. Because guess what? It all goes to the same place.
Double down, double indemnity, portal, and email. Goes to the same place, backup, safety net. There you go.
Hey, I want to go back to Kevin McDermott, my Irish, not Scottish friend, real quick. Kev, I want to know, did you sign the 4506T on the SBA portal?
Ooh.
So big word of caution, folks.
That's possibly
last week. How many did I decline last week? 4. I declined 4 DocuSign 4506Ts on the SBA portal last week. Logged in with my client on the phone to review the documents, and there's the 4506T. So on the giant 23-inch LCD monitor, I open up the thank you, Greg. Love you too, brother. I open up, the actual tax return and my 4506T, because I fill one out for my clients. And sure enough, the SBA had filled out the 4506T that they wanted my client to DocuSign. It was wrong.
That I don't think we've actually set it in stone.
I have.
No, that I'm doing this in case I have to do an excerpt and do another video. Yeah, where
how do I look?
If you let the SBA, you go get me another beer while you're doing nothing. If you let the SBA fill out your 4506T and then you signed it and let it go back to them with whatever they did, if it was wrong, there's no, they don't have power of attorney just because they did it, that it means the IRS is going to comply that the SBA is asking for a tax transcript. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It doesn't matter who did it, even if SBA did it. So if you were left to the SBA's devices of the fate of your 4506T form, it's possible, if you have an issue now, that it's because it's wrong. So just be prepared for that, even if they did it. I know there are some people thinking just because SBA filled it out, then it must be right because they did it. So it's got to work, right? No, it doesn't work that way. So, all right, we're going to get to some more questions, but since the resident loan officer is catering to me and my next beer, I'm going to take a little break telling you about 2 things. Our simple, oh my gosh, we have a true real Stein happening here. And this is, stop doing that.
This is the SBA. This is the SBA.
And I'm the business owner.
This is unverifiable.
Damn it. Give it to me. All right. So I want to just do a little PSA announcement.
Dang, that looks good.
I know.
Looks like the TV commercial.
Please, can you check out our other YouTube channel, Aurora Consulting, and subscribe to it? We talk about business basics. Is today Tuesday?
Today's Monday.
Monday. Okay. All right. We have to do the video for tomorrow. It's simple sense for small business mistakes we've made, so you don't have to. Please subscribe. It's youtube.com/Aurora Consulting.
Linda Ray.
Yes.
Oh my God, look what I found.
Oh. All right. Yeah, you owe us a beer. Yeah.
Love you, Kev. Thanks for tuning in.
All right.
Ashton,
so let's get back to questions.
We're not that sophisticated, Ashton.
I think we did John Cook already, but I just, in the sake of me getting a new beer, I'll do another question.
I don't really understand the question. So
if you're not declined, then you're still in the process.
That's not really the question.
It sounds like it's the question. That's how I'm interpreting the question. If you're still here, John Cook, can you give us a little bit more?
Yeah. So, we need to. Have you been declined, John Cook? We don't understand.
Sandra, I got to decline letter.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Sandra, ignore the letter.
All right.
Sandra, remember Trevor's golden rule. Always apply, stop questioning, start submitting.
Hey there, Mohamedou. I got your email today.
Mohamedou. Wow, you nailed it. You actually
I did.
You did. I'm so proud of you.
First of all, I love this name. I need to buy a vowel, but I love it. Okay, my loan officer told me that Oh, I went to change 1 day later. I was, oh,
Ignore whatever customer service told you.
yeah.
If they told you what time of day it was, don't question. Don't believe them.
Actually, that brings me
So
back to a question.
here's what I would say. Mohamedou, if you have a loan officer, call your loan officer or email your loan officer and say, can you just tell me, am I officially declined?
Yeah. All right. But this brings me to Maureen's question. Is there a difference between a servicer? I've never heard loan servicer. I've heard loan reps.
Oh, no. Well, loan servicer, Maureen. So it sounds like you got an EIDL last year, and now someone from SBA is reaching out to you from the servicing department to advise you about your payments or record keeping, providing a copy of your hazard insurance and a resolution from your corporation, your LLC, that you have accepted the EIDL loan.
All right. So John, no, yeah.
Okay, so then you're dealing with a loan officer.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're in final stretches, John.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Hang in there.
Hang in there. We're hoping the best for you, John.
All right.
Namaste.
Samantha Lyons. Oh, Samantha, I think is talking to Gregory.
Just John, real clear piece of advice. As I mentioned earlier about our client with the disability and the way I respond to the loan officer, it's a conversation. If your loan officer, and I say this to you folks because when I was a loan officer in the mortgage company, I would ask somebody for something and they would say, well, why do you need that? You know, and my answer in my head was, because I'm trying to lend you $500,000 to buy a house, you idiot. But that's not what I would say to them. SBA loan officers don't really behave that way. They'll just hang up on you or decline your loan. So John, my best piece of advice for you and anyone else like Mamadou, who appears to be also working loan officer, you know, expect respect, but also provide tremendous amount of respect for the job they're trying to do. They're trying to get you approved. So help them to do that. Don't fight with them. Don't question why. Don't say, why do you need that? Say, I have a document that maybe not match exactly what you're asking for. I mean, if you're confused about something, it's okay to ask that, but don't, it's just so rude to say to a loan officer, well, why do you need that?
Yeah. Benita, did I miss part of this question? That because it's hard to go back with all the comments. So
well, it's a simple question. Benita, is your business a franchise? Yes or no? If it's a franchise, the franchise must be on the SBA approved franchise list, which you can find on the SBA website.
And then I do want to bring up Darlene's comment. I don't know if you're still here, Darlene, about this. This goes back to,
oh, Darlene.
This goes back to 20 minutes ago when we were talking.
I'm having a hot flash. I think I'm in love with Darlene right now.
Yes.
Darlene, you're talking loan officer, religion.
I know. And I just, because Darlene has been an incredible supporter of the channel. We appreciate
$20.
We appreciate
which I won
contributions
from Kevin McDermott also. So thank you, Darlene. By the way, just want you to know, while I got up to eat beer, I think I might have swallowed a fly.
Harley Quinn. I love this name.
Yeah.
I send my taxes
no. Is that what they asked for, Harley? I mean, you know, give them what they asked for. You don't always have to. I mean, can you give them more? Yeah, you could give them more. I do it all the time, but I'm a loan officer. I know exactly what they need. Often, sadly, more often than the loan officer knows what they need, or the loan rep. Loan officers tend to know what they want, but I get other people that don't ask for anything. So for the moment, if they ask for tax and hazard insurance, get that in there, and
now
wait for the rest.
Oh yes, yeah, Mohamedou, I got you. We got you in the calendar for sure. You cannot, Gregory. It is illegal
to charge a commission. It's not illegal.
Period.
All right, slow yourself down.
How do you
let's get some money, okay? Let's give us money.
I'm just saying, just for anyone else who has been contacted.
Greg, we've done a video on this also, but here's the rules. SBA Form 159D allows a consultant, we're a consultant, on the EIDL process to charge a flat fee of no more than $2,500. Commissions, percentages, and junk fees are strictly prohibited. The reason the SBA prohibits those commissions, percentages, and junk fees is because if the consultant has their income based on the amount of money they get you, which means if they get you more money, they get more money, then they have an incentive to commit fraud. And unlike in the mortgage business, Greg, the consultant's name does not appear on the application. Yours does. And who goes to jail if there's fraud? Not the consultant.
Yeah.
So we charge a flat fee. If you'd like to discuss that, book a call.
So Harley Quinn, they didn't ask for more, but they said information was unverifiable.
Well, have you been declined, Harley?
Yes.
So
put that in the comments. Greg Mackin, the portal eliminated e-sign. Oh. Ooh.
I don't really understand this.
It sounds like they had something in there for you, but they don't now.
So folks, just generally speaking, if you're going to ask us questions, we tend to really try to focus on one person. Try to be really clear and specific. We want to answer your questions, but if it's, Greg, no offense, but if it's short and I cannot understand this. This statement or this question you've got. We need you to be very specific for us. Specific is terrific.
Samantha, I'm sorry, we do not assist. We don't do standalone targeted advance and supplemental grants. We focus, our primary core competency is EIDL loans. We get a lot of people with questions and
about the grants.
We
don't
discuss the grants.
We don't do the grants. Sorry. We can't. There's so much that's wrong about the grant program. Massively wrong. And it's very, we don't have enough experience with it because it's not what we do. We do EIDL loan applications, reconsiderations, appeals.
Yeah. So we're at 1 hour and 10 minutes. We don't have, if I've missed your question, I need you to put it in now. Otherwise we're shutting it down. Even though I have a full beer, I can go for another half hour. But no more questions that I can see right now. I did put the link
to
our...
that beer's going warm while you're talking.
It's all right. I did put the link to our Simple Sense for Small Business channel. I'm totally shamelessly pimping that channel because we will not be doing this forever. This will be phased out at some point. So
COVID-19 does have a shelf life, at least with us here at Aurora Consulting. And speaking of Aurora Consulting, so folks, we try to do these free questions and answers for you here on YouTube. We offer a free 15-minute phone consultation. We ask you to pay for this with the tiniest, easiest payment. And that is, you're quite welcome, Maureen, and we wish you the best. Here's how we ask you to pay for our time tonight. Please go to our Google business page and write a review.
Yeah.
Write a review about if you thought there was quality about what we provided tonight or on our free phone calls or on our website. Please share that with the world, because when you, and please don't just do 5 stars, which we get a lot of that, or 2 stars if you want, but write what your experience was, because when other people read about your experience, that means we might have somebody who pays us for our consulting service. And when we have paying clients, that is how we're able to do these free Q&As for you on YouTube and the free 15-minute consultation. So please, very small price to pay. Linda's putting the link up right now.
I'm also, Harley, there's a link to book a call in the description to answer your question, Harley Quinn.
You're going to put up the link for the Google review?
I did. It's in the comments.
It's in the comments?
It's in the comments.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the whole banner thing.
I did do the banner thing.
You did? Love this girl.
That's not the banner. That's the banner.
There you go. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So, Darlene, did I see your Google review? Did you not get a reply? Because I replied to all reviews. The only reviews I don't reply to is if it's only 5 stars and there's no commentary in the review. Darlene, I will check back because you should have gotten a reply, because I did thank you for that. And I did acknowledge it, and it was tremendous. Justin, you crazy super sticker dude. You're awesome. You were totally back in my good favor. I just want to say. Just kidding. Okay.
I'm looking for Harley's review.
Hey, Jeff Hansen. So nice to see you,
Hey, Jeff,
sir.
I had pizza for dinner, buddy.
So nice to see you, sir. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Maureen. Appreciate that. Okay. So now.
Hey, Lewis, we got a review from Lewis just now. They are the best in the business.
Oh,
thanks, Lewis.
Oh, That's Luis.
Luis, I'm hoping you're here on the show. I know he's on vacation. He's away on holidays.
So hold on here. Why
Darlene,
did the portal?
is it Darlene? I'm looking for Darlene.
Yeah, Darlene was probably a couple weeks ago though, so you have to keep going back.
Oh, that can't go that far back.
Why did the portal ask for e-sign 45% deposit when they disappeared and the modification went away?
Okay, Greg. So here's what you got to do: call customer service and ask the one closed-ended question that matters most. Hi, can I have a status of my file? Is it still in process or is it declined? Luis Moncayo. Luis.
All right. So thank you, Lance. All right. So let's see. Yes, one of my businesses with the franchise and the others. But my income is all on my.
So Benita, go to the SBA website. Google SBA approved franchise list. Or call your franchise corporate office and say, hey, y'all folks on the SBA approved list?
Hold on a second. I want to go back.
Not all franchises are, by the way, Benita. We actually had somebody call once for our free consultation, 15-minute consultation call, and I looked it up for him while I was on the phone, and his company was not on there, which is shameful.
So, okay, Justin.
Too many redirect error with other clients. I don't
what does
dude,
that mean?
What does redirect error mean?
What does that mean? You're really, Justin, you're super smart for your own good. You know what I'm saying? All right.
I don't know what that means. Too many redirect.
Don't know what that means. I did want to go now. Okay. Because we always try to give everyone a chance to
I love how the beer keeps going over, but it never,
I know, I never really
the
said
beverage actually never crosses her lips. So
yeah.
that's interesting.
I do, because we usually
just, I'm Scottish.
We try to suggest
very disturbing.
one question per person so that everyone can get a chance. But I'm going to do Patty Campy again because this, I think, if I'm understanding this question, this is an interesting question.
So actually, if I'm not mistaken, Patty, there is a different 4506T for this, which I believe you can request this directly from SBA customer service. Ask them to email you or call and ask to speak with a tier 2 agent and ask that agent to send you by email a 4506T that allows you to put in your fiscal year as opposed to calendar year.
Okay. So let's see with.
Oh, Justin, you're talking about how the website keeps crashing. I don't know. I mean that's I've been seeing this since March of 2020. Thank you, Lance. I've been seeing the SBA website glitchy and terrible to work with and crashing, since March of 2020. So it's just, to me, it just comes with the territory.
Yeah, you were in the okay. Linda James, decline group last week. Okay.
Sorry to hear that, Linda. Congratulations on the targets.
Yes.
Apply for reconsideration. Do it right now.
Yeah.
Like, stop watching us right now. Go send an email. I hereby request reconsideration, EIDL number. And then when you do that, then go to our Google page and say, Trevor's awesome because he told me to file a reconsideration.
Yeah. All right. So besides Ashton telling us party foul and his neighbors now think he listens to obnoxious Bee Gees covered tunes. Stay alive, stay alive. The portal was down at some point. It crashes. That's why we tell you to stay off of it.
Stay alive.
Okay. That's why we try to tell you guys to stay off the portal.
Yeah.
It's unreliable, it's inaccurate, and it's just it's a vampire of
Let's put it this way.
energy.
I have to access the portal for our clients multiple times a day, and it glitchy. It's, it just refresh, log out, update your computer. Yeah. So Benita,
or take a walk, go outside,
take a walk,
leave it alone.
Go to the pet store, buy a canary, watch kitten videos, and then come back later on.
That's what I do. Videos.
So Benita, if they're on the franchise directory, then you're fine. Just, put that in writing and submit it with your reconsideration request to the SBA.
Yeah, Greg Mackin is really having a problem signing into the portal and getting stuff done on the portal.
Here's a suggestion, Greg. Use Chrome only. Do not use Microsoft Edge. Do not use Safari. Do not use Firefox. Use Chrome, and click in the upper right-hand corner where the little 3 tabs are. Click on that and click select new incognito window, and try going incognito. If all else fails, clear all your cookies.
Clear the cookies, except the real cookies.
And potentially do a security scan. I use Norton. You know, whatever your thing is, do a security scan on your computer. Clean up your computer. I mean, there could be issues on your computer that are registering with the firewall at SBA as well.
Well, do you want to share about?
All I can say, Greg, is I go in multiple times a day. I experience the glitches and I go back in.
Yeah, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
I mean, we have as a third-party representative and authorized preparer, there have been issues with getting into SBA or emails or logging in issues because
when I log in,
they think we're like,
I cannot select what you folks can select where it says, you know, remember me. I can't do that. I cannot, because I'm doing it for hundreds of clients. So, I mean, so when I'm logging in, like for Jeff Hansen here, Handsome Hansen, you know, I have to notify him, hey, I'm logging in. Are you available to receive a code? And then I log in, and then the SBA will send to Jeff a email with a 6-digit verification code, which then he reads to me, and then that allows me to log in. But again, Greg, I have multiple issues with the SBA's website. Just keep trying.
Yeah, Benita. Then we're gonna lock it down tomorrow.
Benita, just to be very clear, I am not funny on the phone.
No, you
don't get this. I'm a serious loan officer. I'm very serious. We're putting the band back together.
So just
taking a road trip.
10 days straight. That might be a sign. Okay.
Don't say that. He's our client.
No, to the 10 days to not log into the portal.
I'm the one logging into the portal for him. But Justin, just a reminder, we have gotten in a couple of times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But like, yeah, well, I was saying to him to like let Trevor handle it.
Digging grave deeper.
No. Ashton's making gumbo. Everyone is happy right now.
Cajun gumbo.
No, we do not do PPP. We did PPP last year for clients. We started doing it for the second round.
Well, Greg, first piece of advice I can give you is this. Go ahead, Linda. Tell him what Trevor's advice is.
Don't go on Reddit. Stay off of Reddit. Leave Reddit
Seriously,
alone.
Greg, do you want to get your information from some punk ass who's living in his mommy's basement? Honey, you want a hot pocket? I mean, really? This is the people you're relying on? Come on, cut it out.
No. Yeah, just no. And everyone, and John with the 10K, you know, if it happens, it's a bonus because it's not being discussed at all.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. All right.
Senator Rosen of Nevada has been trying to get you all the $10,000 since August of last year.
Yeah, I mean, so we're coming up
not happening
on the 1-year anniversary.
Restaurant Relief Fund grant program ran out of money. They had $26 billion for $78 billion, or $28 billion for $76 billion of requests. I don't see that the Congress is talking about putting an extra, $50 billion into the Restaurant Relief Fund. Restaurants, folks, which had to close.
Yeah.
Like almost for a whole year, and the Congress is not giving them. They're not going to give you the $10,000. It's never going to happen.
I think.
Keep in mind the purpose. I'm sorry, honey. You can drink beer while I talk.
The
purpose of the $10,000, folks, originally was to get a quick cash infusion into the American economy, just like stimulus checks, and it didn't happen because the SBA did up. They did. For you to think I'm going to get the $10,000 now over a year later, come on, stop, cut it out. Yeah. Cut it out. And if you're listening to people here on YouTube who are talking about advances, I'm always being yelled at. Don't slam the other YouTubers.
No,
but that's all they seem to talk about. And it's total horse shit, folks. You're never going to get the $10,000. If you're in a low income community and you meet the requirements for the targeted advance and or the supplemental, you will eventually get your money. But for all the rest of the small businesses, including ours, that applied in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic did not get the 10,000 at all or the full amount, it's not coming.
Well, the other thing I want to tag onto this is the small business owner hat that I wear when you say stuff that I know is distressing to people. The thing too is, to Trevor's point about infusing money into the public and to hands of business owners immediately, that's what the intention of the grant was. But also SBA made it so that businesses got money in the EIDL loan program, even if you filled out it wrong, even if you filled out the application wrong, even if you
as many of you are seeing today,
even if you submitted inaccurate figures, if you did not submit tax returns because they weren't done,
they weren't required,
you still got money. So they're like
tens, if not almost 200,000.
Yeah, so $150,000 up to, because that was the cap. So they're justified, like, okay, they didn't get the grant, but we swiftly moved on them getting some money, even if it was, insufficient and inconsequential. If your business is a $3 million business and you got $150,
to be clear, for SBA, the way the EIDL program unfolded last year on approving those loans, that was fast.
Yes.
Compared to our experience with SBA.
Yes. All right.
But just, I can't say it enough. I don't believe that this $10,000 is ever magically going to appear, because there's no reason for
except
it.
for those that are applying for even the ones that qualify because of the target advance, they're still having issues getting that money.
Because that, hang on a second, Lynn, that's a different issue, because the target advance was part of the second stimulus package signed into law on December 27th. That's different. That was a specific type of advance for low-income communities, small business. But for those folks last year, March, April, May, June 2020, who applied for the EIDL program, who did not receive the $10,000 grant. By the way, it was SBA that started calling it an advance. The CARES Act does not call it an advance, calls it a grant. $10,000 grant. Read the CARES Act. It's in there. Grant.
I'm definitely going to have to make a note of this. An hour, 26 minutes that we're talking.
You're supposed to get it within 3 days of filing your application last year. You didn't get it.
You didn't get it.
What is the incentive that you think Congress has to give it to you this year? There is no incentive. COVID is mostly getting better. The economy is rebounding slowly.
There may be a crusade on it. There could be,
It's bullshit. It's all, anybody who's talking about it is full of crap. I'm sorry.
All
okay.
Right. I'm not
Lendo Bijou.
commenting.
I scanned in my ID in PDF, but was refused to say my iPhone.
Yeah.
Sounds like, Lendo, you're uploading to the portal. You're getting an incorrect message. So here's what you do. Number one, PDF only. No photographs. Do not take a photo of your driver's license and convert the photo to a PDF.
No.
Scan your driver's license, Lendo, with a proper computer scanner, or if you're using one of these,
scannable.
Use a scannable app. I prefer Adobe Scan, or on the iPhone, you use the Notes feature. It must be a true PDF, not a photograph converted to PDF. Number one. Number two, email it into PDC recons@sba.gov, Lendo. Yeah. Always a backup plan that I use, because I don't trust the portal as far as I can throw this building. It's not a very big building, but I can't throw it at all.
Listen, we do what we can based on the experience we have with actually working on this stuff. Some of our opinions are not received very well. When we tell you not to check the portal because you're wasting your time.
But we got a lot of pushback on that one.
Or targeted advance, or the grant and it being a year later, more than a year later, and the politicians that everyone thinks they're supposed to call their congressperson and their senator, but they're
or submitting your own tax transcripts, or the 4506T,
or the stamped return, like all
here's
of these
here's
things.
What you want to know, Linda.
Lynn,
my love, tell our audience about all the predictions I've made. How many of them I've been wrong about?
None.
How many have I been wrong about?
None. Nil. Zilch. Zada. Nada. 9.
You're not going to get the 10,000, folks.
Yeah. Wait. What?
Yes, Greg, that is correct.
Yeah, that's
any
right.
point in the process.
Yes.
But Greg, we require the 15-minute consultation call, because we want to assess that the person speaking to us who wants to hire us has a reasonable chance of success.
I don't think that's what he's talking about.
It is absolutely what he's talking about.
I guess you guys can pick up it. Oh, yes.
So
yes.
we want to make sure that they have a reasonable chance of success in the process. We don't want to just take someone's money just willy-nilly. We want to know that if somebody's hiring us and paying our fee, which we collect in full up front, and it's non-refundable. We're very SBA compliant, but we have our standards as well. That we want to make sure we at least have a reasonable chance of success. So Greg, please book a 15-minute free phone consultation. I'll be happy to talk to you and look forward to it. Please, Greg, also when I speak to you, please remind me that we had this exchange, because I speak to so many people, I don't always remember. So just remind me, okay? I'm also old. Ashton, it pains Linda.
Yes,
Wait, Ashton, did you see me kicking her under the table?
No, he's talking about me saying that you're right all the time.
Oh, hello. Well, I was wrong about something recently. What was I wrong about?
Hold on. It'll come back to me.
We did a video about it. I admitted I was wrong, and you made a big deal about it. I think there was sound effects and fireworks and everything.
There was. It's on tape. Wow, I'm showing my age. It's recorded somewhere.
Well, we did it a video where I admitted it was on one of our live WTF Wednesday
it was
shows.
the hazard insurance thing.
Oh, right. If less than $25,000. That's right. I admitted I was wrong about that, but that wasn't a prediction. That was just a functionality aspect.
Darlene knows.
Darlene, home alone.
Darlene, we may have to talk. We may need to hire you, okay?
We're going to hire Darlene as our PDF specialist.
Yeah. We are hiring, actually. I will say that. So that's just to manage all that we're doing.
Meaning we're hiring a new person on Wednesday.
Yes, we're hiring.
We have a file manager, and we're bringing on someone else to help out.
All right. So there's no new questions without me relishing in that Trevor was wrong one time.
And I left the door open the other night.
And he did. He actually left the door open. It was ajar the entire night.
This door right over here, that door, it's right. It leads right out into the yard, and we're on 2.5 acres, so it's kind of big and
and we
buggy.
had a bear here the other night.
It's the same night that we had the bear, and the bear, by the way, was just 100 yards outside this window.
So there was a bear. We could hear our neighbor yelling at the dog, and I'm like,
up the hill, a good 400 yards up the hill.
I thought maybe she was just like running to greet somebody coming into the driveway, but then we're outside.
Yeah, and one of our neighbors came over.
Bear, it
right
was
here.
Enormous,
like 100 yards outside this window,
walking right in our backyard.
He had to be 600, maybe 700 pounds. Black bear, big bear.
And keep in mind, I was like in the yard literally 5 minutes before, around the vicinity that I would have seen him going through the land trust. We have this land. It's
like a wooded area behind us.
Yeah, borders.
The bear would have passed basically within about 10 feet of Linda.
All right, so here's Pete Fuller, who is new. Hello.
Congratulations,
not
Pete.
New, but like, I don't know if you're just showing up tonight.
Congratulations, Pete. Woo! Yeah, baby! Way to rock and roll, Mo. Yeah.
All right.
It's always scary when she does that.
It's good news,
See,
people.
It's proof
Sometimes
what we keep saying,
there
folks.
is good
hang in
news.
there. You will get approved.
You have to wait. That's it. You have to wait.
Patience, process.
I think this is the other thing where we get a lot of slack, and people not digging us. Where we say, it might be prudent to perhaps redirect the energy and focus on things you can control in your business. Now, I will hasten to say this only because I understand if you are so desperate for funds and you're paralyzed in your business because you need the money. I know, but if you're paralyzed where you can't even physically do anything in your business, I understand that it's difficult to hear, like, redirect your focus or redirect your energy and focus on your business with things you can control. But really, I mean,
what else can you do?
There's nothing else you can do. It's sort of like when your computer's not working and you reboot. This part of the reboot strategy is to, try to redirect on things that you can do in your business.
Oh, I just saw something really cool. But by the way, put up Conspiracy University before I come up. This really further up right there. Conspiracy. I love this guy.
Oh yeah, I love this guy.
I love this one.
I love
Conspiracy.
this guy.
I hope me and the wife are just like this when we get to that stage. She's kind of mean. That was hysterical.
First of all, I love Conspiracy University because he has totally defended us when there was when we were live last week, we were talking about the comment that the guy who was trashing us because more than a few. The guy when we said don't check the portal, and there was some guy that came on that said, well, if the clients I have didn't check their portal, they wouldn't have been able to blah 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 blah. Sure. All right, whatever.
Okay. Conspiracy, love you, man. All right, so I just saw the wackadoodleist, awesomest analogy. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
About when people say, checking the portal and things like that. You know what? I've realized that everybody wants to treat the SBA like it's a car wash.
Oh, you used to say Tinder. Swipe right, swipe left.
No. The SBA, y'all are thinking your SBA process of getting your increase or your reconsideration is like like going to the car wash. When you get out of the car and it's on the conveyor belt, and then you walk along the long hallway and it's the big glass windows, and you can see every step of the way how the car gets washed. That is not how the SBA works, folks.
Yeah. That's a really good analogy. I didn't know where you were going with that.
I had my moments.
I know. It was really good. So
I'm happy to have hired Aurora because it cost me $2. And
yes.
Mike, your reconsideration has been submitted. So yeah.
Darlene, we got bobcats, foxes, coyotes, owls, and they're beautiful. I did not prepare to be able to show you the owl. We walked right by. We were like literally probably
6 feet.
6 feet from an owl on a branch on a tree that was like at our height. It was awesome. It was
well, then there was the night we were sitting here. So this is like our little library den entertainment center. Our TV's right there. And we were sitting here with the windows open. It was a lovely evening, and I guess the TV must have been kind of low, but all of a sudden we heard this screaming outside the window.
Oh, yeah.
It sounded human. But the thing is, the sound floated away up the hill.
Oh, shit.
Up the hill. So
that's called dinner.
I'm pretty sure you got a button open. Thanks. I'm pretty sure that it was an owl that picked up a bunny rabbit and it was heading up the hill.
Mike Murphy.
Ashton's like, skin that thing, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So we're winding down. I think this is the longest show we've done for sure.
Well, thank you all for tuning in. I just want to remind you all that this is what we do, the free Q&As and the free 15-minute consultations paid for by your kind consideration to go to our Google review page and write a Google review about if you found our assistance and advice helpful. Please write a review and be specific about what you heard and the value you achieved, because that helps paying clients to find us. And when paying clients find us, here we are giving away free advice. I don't really know that, IBM is out there teaching people how to use computers, for free.
And please subscribe to our Simple Sense for Small Business. It's a new channel that we're doing where we're just speaking extemporaneously about BS we've been through and mistakes we've made, so you don't have to. We have our roadmap for reconsideration that is so, like, I did
it. I finished writing it.
He finished writing. Now I'm formatting and editing.
The publisher, right over here. This chick.
So we're doing that.
And just keep in mind, folks, it's a book, but it's really it's a course.
It's a course.
It's everything that I do to get our client loans approved. And I've tried to, in writing this, anticipate everything you will encounter in the EIDL process. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that hopefully you never need. But if it comes across your table, as the questions we've gotten tonight prove, that's all in the roadmap to reconsiderations.
Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate your
Thanks,
time
Ashton,
and hanging out with us. Thank you, Ashton. Thank you, Mike Murphy. Thank you to Darlene and to Justin Tatum
And conspiracy dude.
Lance. Thank you so much.
And Greg. Thank you, Greg. And my new buddy, Kevin McDermott.
Yeah, Kevin and Jeff Hansen and so many.
And Justin Tatum.
Yeah, we said Justin Tatum. All right. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay strong, stay well, stay healthy.
Good night, everybody.
Ciao.